Welcome to the Rural Revival Podcast. I'm your host, Dana Larson. This week we're with Rylie Sproul, hairstylist at the Loft in Fairview, Oklahoma. While Rylie always knew she wanted to be a hairstylist, she didn't always know she would end up living in her hometown. Yet that's exactly where she's at, and she wouldn't have it any other way. We talk about celebrating 11 years of business in a building that has an incredible history for her family. Plus, the relationships she's built and cultivated with her clients, and the important role that plays in the life of her small town and its people. She also shares about her family's history of entrepreneurship and life on the family farm that was actually settled in the Oklahoma land run. So here we go with Rylie Sproul. Okay, well, we're here today with hairstylist Rylie Sproul of the Loft in Fairview, Oklahoma.
Hello. Thank you for having me.
Thanks for being on the podcast. I wanted to do this for a while, so I'm glad it finally worked out in the schedule.
I am so excited. A little nervous.
Well, I first met you. I was here with my friend Joni Nash for your community. Was it a chamber event?
Yeah, our annual chamber event, I think. And it's actually coming up here again in just a few weeks.
Awesome. Yeah, so we got to tag in on that on the end of one of our road trips. And
yes,
we've been friends ever since.
Yeah, I think you guys blew in and changed clothes in the bathroom and gave a speech shortly after.
Well, tell us about you, Rylie. Were you born and raised here in Fairview?
I was born in the hospital. Lived here ever since. I did have a short stint where I left to go to college and go to hair school for about 6 years, but then I moved back home and I've been here ever since. And my parents are from here, my grandparents are from here, and my sister still lives here. I have a brother, he doesn't live here anymore either, but
did you always know you wanted to come back here?
No, I did not know that I always wanted to come back here. I probably left thinking I would never come back home, but then love does crazy things and brings you back. I had quite a few experiences that I got to go and do while I was gone for my 6 years. One of them was I lived in New York City for a few months for a summer. My best friend had an internship there, and I followed her because I had nothing else to do, and I think that was the biggest learning thing for me in preparing me to live here in Fairview and to be happy living here, knowing what I wanted and what I didn't need in life. And I think it just prepared me to be happy and content living in a small town.
I love that. Did you always know you wanted to be a hairstylist?
Yes. My first haircut I did on my friend in 6th grade. We still talk about it. I still do her hair today. And my mom was very freaked out by the whole situation, and her mom was totally cool with it. And so I've always wanted to do it. I was grateful that my parents supported me in that decision after my freshman year of college. I was able to take some time off and go get my cosmetology license. And after that, I did go back to college and finished and got a marketing degree. But this is exactly what I have always wanted to do.
So I have to know, did the 6th grade haircut turn out well?
It did. And I think it was actually even before picture day. So that's what was really crazy.
That was brave.
Yes, very brave.
When did you open up your shop here?
Next month, in April, I will be celebrating 11 years of being open here.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
That's great.
It's pretty crazy. I'm not old enough to be doing something for that long, I don't think.
That's how I feel about a lot of things. It's funny how the years just add up.
Yes, they do.
This location and this building has a very special place in the history of your family. So tell us a little bit about that.
The building is situated in downtown Fairview, and it is above, I occupy the space that is above the Fairview Republican, which is our newspaper here in town. My great-grandparents owned the newspaper, and then my grandparents, and now my parents. With my great-grandparents, they, back in the day, everybody owned their business, and they had to live above their business that they had. And so it was a little apartment, and my grandma has told me that she remembered when there was just sheets that were the partitions for the bedrooms up here. And then as she got older and her and my grandpa bought the newspaper from her parents, my dad and his sister lived up here for a short amount of time before they found a house here in town that they moved into. And then the building, as I grew up, when my parents were producing the newspapers every week, back then it took a lot more effort and time to produce a weekly newspaper than it does today with the capabilities of the internet. So when I was a kid and my brother and sister, this apartment building above the newspaper became our little hangout that my parents could stick us up here, and we were contained, and they would finish their work on Tuesdays is when we produced the paper. And it just became our little space. Also growing up, we lived in a little house, and this is the place that we would have our birthday parties, our sleepovers, or anything like that. So then whenever I was thinking about moving home, I needed a place, and it was suggested by my parents that I could take over the upstairs apartment above the newspaper and remodel it and open my salon. So whenever I took over and remodeled the place 11 years ago, I was lucky enough that we just pulled up the old nasty carpet that had been here forever and restored the original wood floors, and you can see over time all the places that there used to be walls that things had changed. And I was so grateful that I could preserve so much of that. And like whenever you came up the stairs, I think there's like 24 stairs up to get up here, and most of my clients have at least counted them one time as they've come up here, because it is a large staircase and quite a few steps to get up here. But it is an extremely special thing to me and my family, and I love that I get to have it restored and enjoy it and use it and have a working business that other people get to enjoy as well.
Yeah. Well, it's a perfect space. It has a little something about it reminds me of the Friends living room.
Yes. Mm-hmm. Just lots of little rooms and space and
cool colors, cool
furniture. Yes.
Yeah. I love it.
Thank you.
So you're a small business here in Fairview, but you've come from, and you noted on this a little bit, a long line of business owners here in Fairview. Tell us about where you've come from and some of your family history as entrepreneurs and small business owners.
Like I said earlier, my parents have the newspaper down below, the Fairview Republican, and then they also inherited from my grandpa, and my grandma and grandpa as well is the Cherokee Messenger up north of us in Cherokee. The other thing that my family has still to this day is convenience stores. My grandpa was in the convenience store business, and my dad followed that business as well. And actually up north here in Nash, it was his first store that he built, and he actually built that whenever he was in college. And it's all he's ever done, all he's ever known, along with the newspapers as well. When I was a kid with the newspapers, we always had a summer convention, and we were allowed to take a friend. My brother, sister, and I could take a friend with us. And I took my friend, and whenever we got home, she told her parents, they asked how it was and how, what all went on. And she goes, it is just like a bunch of Hobie Hammers running around. All the same type of people, people who are entrepreneurs, people who are invested in their communities, people who care and want to tell the stories of their community and what they have, especially in today, with the ability of Facebook, and you can just get on there and sell something. You don't have to put ads in the paper or do anything like that anymore. But one thing that our family is very passionate about is the fact that a newspaper is history. And nothing on Facebook, nothing on, yes, they tell you that it can be there forever. But when people come back to town and they're looking for information, the newspaper office is where they go. And we have a lot of pride in having that and keeping the stories alive of what our community is about.
Yeah. So do you feel like that prepared you to be a business owner, just kind of growing up around that mentality?
Yes. I grew up, like I said, with the convenience stores, and my dad, when we were kids, we worked, I felt like, all the time, and it never failed that there was a holiday weekend, Memorial Day weekend, and the cooler would usually go out at the convenience stores that we would all have to go to work for. Or during holidays that nobody else wanted to work, we were the ones that got up and did those things as well. It instilled in me the commitment that you have to a business and the commitment to people is our responsibility to do our job.
Yeah. Have you been a full-time salon, a part-time salon? Because you and your husband, I should just interject, you also are ranchers outside of town here.
Yes, my husband also is very, very rich in his heritage with our operation at home. We actually live on a farm that was settled in the Oklahoma Land Run by his great-great-grandfather. So it is just very important to both of us to remember and to honor all the sacrifices that were made before us that has allowed both he and I to do what we do and to be successful at it at, number one, the opportunities that we've been given because of the people before us, but also the work ethic and the commitment, like I said, is huge and means so much to us.
Yeah. So how do you balance ranch life with the hair salon and family?
Being a hairstylist has been one of the greatest career jobs that I could have asked for. I have been lucky since the day I opened the doors that I have had a community of people that have supported me. I think that probably 80% of my clientele has been with me since my first year of being open.
Wow.
I feel incredibly blessed by all of them. This job has allowed me to be available to Scott and his operation if he needed any help. It's also allowed me to take time and be with my kids. We just had a new baby. He will be 4 months old here in just a few weeks. But it has been the greatest career for me to participate in Scott's life and go where he needed me to go or to do things that he needed me to do. But also, it's allowed me to be creative on my own and pursue my own passions and have my own thing and work and have satisfaction within myself. And it has been a fantastic job for a woman in a small community, a small town, because I can make great money, live in this small town, work in this small town, but yet be available for the people who need me.
That's so good.
I just think it's really important for a woman to have a career, and this is a career. It is a job that helps others. It makes people feel good. It is one thing that I tell a lot of people is that when people come in here, they are happy. They are happy to be here. Even if they're having a bad day, they may not be, they may tell me about their bad day, but when they walk in here, they know that they get to sit here for the next hour to 2 hours and have nothing else concerning them. And that's one benefit that I think that I have had with being in here in my own salon by myself. My clients told me very early on that they liked the fact that they could come up here and almost hide because we're up here by ourselves in this loft. Nobody can walk by and see who you are or what you're doing. And they get to kind of escape that little time. And nobody else is in here. No one else is beside us. Nobody else is listening.
Yeah, I feel that when you go to a hairstylist, it's almost like a relief, like you get to relax.
Yes.
And so how do you do you work to create that environment here?
I do. And one of the things that my clients also tell me quite regularly is many of them come in here and they don't even tell me what they want. And then at the end of their service, they're like, oh, I guess this is great. I didn't even tell you anything. And I just get to come here and I don't have to think whenever I come sit down and spend time with you. They also always tell me that I am like the happiest and nicest person. And I don't know that my husband would entirely agree with me on that all the time. But it is, I think, the joy of having people working in a business, of having people be happy to be there every day is fantastic. The other thing that I have realized in being a hairstylist is I have satisfaction every single day. Like when I end my day, I have completed it. There's nothing else that I could do. There's nothing else that's lingering or anything. And that is something that I value so much in this job, is the satisfaction that it delivers for me.
That's great. It's a very rewarding job.
It is extremely rewarding.
Yeah.
The other thing that is really important to me when people come up here is the relationships that I have developed with my clients of all age ranges. I am very close to so many of them. I know everything about their lives that they share with me. But one of the things that has stood out a lot for me is that some of these women that come up here, they have maybe lost their husband, or, things have gone differently in their lives. And especially my older clientele, I may be the only person that touches them. And I take a lot of pride in providing that service for people.
Yeah, I feel like it's an important role that you actually play in the community and in the lives of people.
Yeah, with being open for 11 years now, it's been, I've seen a lot, I've talked about a lot, and I've had clients pass on, and be very sad about that. I've had clients who have decided they're done coloring their hair, they're ready to embrace their gray hair, and so we make that progression be as easy as possible for them, so they're going from being my 4 to 6 week appointment people that then they're moving into just getting haircuts. And then now I have the group of women behind them is that they used to only get their hair done, every 12 weeks and just had to get a few highlights. Well, now they're coming to see me every 4 to 6 weeks and they're complaining because they have this gray hair to cover all the time. So it has been a really interesting thing that I feel blessed to get to experience, because I have been here for so long and I have such a committed clientele that are to me, that I have traveled their life over the last 11 years with them, and their transitions of changes in their own life and with their own hair and different things. That has been a funny thing that I didn't intend to experience with them, but also the things that my clients have gotten to experience with me. So they have been a part of my life with me getting engaged and getting married and then having our first baby, Parker Bell. She's 6 years old now. And then now with just having Judd, they have been a part of my life just as much as I've been a part of theirs. Like next into my office over here, I have a whole group of gifts that my clients have given me, because just as they are as important to me, I know that I am just as important to them. And they show and tell me that constantly.
That's so great. As a business owner, what advice would you have for other people wanting to start a business in a small town?
Just go for it. Doing it and opening it and working it. There's a saying that my Uncle Marv has always said, is that you can't cut the hair if you can't see the chair. So you have to show up. And I don't care what business it is, you have to show up and be there. And that is something that I have prided myself on a lot. When my clients make an appointment with me, they know that I'm going to be here. They know that if I need to change their appointment, it's for a reason, but I have made a commitment to this, And it is my job and it is my career. It is not an afterthought for me. It is something I have committed to, and I take a lot of pride in having a successful career. And I know that my clients, they greatly appreciate my commitment to it as well. But also saying that is very difficult with having such a booked schedule. When I need to reschedule or my clients need to reschedule, I'm working with 10 people's different schedules. And that is probably one of the biggest downfalls to this, is that being a working mom, and I know that that is any working mom, that it becomes a little difficult, but I am there again. My clients are the greatest and most understanding, but I have cultivated that relationship with them, and I count on them and they count on me, and we are extremely respectful to each other's time. And I believe that that is just the commitments that we have to each other, and that I have provided a service for them, and they are respectful back to me.
Any business tips that you would share that might be helpful to other entrepreneurs and small business owners?
I am so lucky to be in this small town with a group of people that are doing the same things as me. Right before you guys got here, one of my best friends, she just had her ribbon cutting for her new direct primary care doctor's office. She's a PA here in town, and we've been best friends since I think she was the only person at my first birthday party. So, I mean, some of our other dear best friends are optometrists here in town. My sister lives here, and she runs my dad's convenience stores. And I am just surrounded by people who are committed to living in a small town, growing a small town, and making it worthwhile to be here. So one of my tips would just be to surround yourself with people who are like-minded, who want the same things as you do, and want good for your community as well.
Yeah, which is the perfect segue into my next question, which is, what do you love most about Fairview?
I love, and this has been very apparent over the last 2 years, that we kind of live in this little bubble right here. And I think that that is the greatest gift that we have been given. With COVID and everything that has happened, yes, we've had our downfalls for sure, but our little community it has been said time and time again, sometimes it feels like nothing's even changed right here. We are able to continue on. We're able to support each other. We're able to grow together. We have great people in this town that care about you and want the best for everyone here. Just like when I had my baby, a few months ago, I had multiple clients cooking me dinner to bring out to the house. And, I just feel that in those larger communities, bigger cities, that it takes a lot more work to cultivate those relationships than it does in a small town. Because if you put yourself out there and you're willing to help people, they're willing to be right there for you too. Like we said earlier, that I'm upstairs above the newspaper, I have stairs, and I have had clients have knee surgeries, not be able to make it up the stairs, and I go to their house. I cut their hair at home. I probably shouldn't tell that, and I hope not all my clients hear that, but I'm, just the small town feel that people help each other and people want you to succeed is something that I greatly value in our town.
Yeah. What excites you the most about the future of rural America?
Rural America has changed so much. I think the opportunities that you can have in rural America is completely different than even 10 years ago. I love that you can live here and enjoy all the small town benefits, the great school system, the community, but yet you have the ability to have good jobs here, jobs that support your family in a way that has never been done before. With the ability of the internet, I love that Scott and I are raising our kids here. He and I had the best childhood. We have had the greatest support from this community here in Fairview. And I just love that I am able to offer my kids the same experiences, the same opportunities. Living right here in Fairview with my parents who live right here in town. Scott's parents, they live just a quarter mile away from us. And that community, beyond just the community of Fairview, like, I don't know how I could ever make it with all the help that I get from people that surround me.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. What does it mean to you for you and Scott to get to raise your family here where you grew up?
It's very important for Scott and I to take what we have been given, the opportunities that we have been given, and build upon and grow and teach and provide the same opportunities or more for our own kids. The values and respect that rural America instills in you is very important to Scott and I. Our heritage is important, our history, our commitment to teaching our children to take care of what they have and what was before them. But none of this, like I said earlier, I don't know how I could ever do any of this without the support people in my life. My parents, my in-laws, they keep us moving in a forward direction all the time, especially with our kids. We are the luckiest family to have the support that we do and the people surrounding us to encourage us, to believe in us, and to tell us that it's all going to be okay.
Right? Yes. Well, what's next for you? Any big plans?
Oh, I have lots of plans. I have lots of ideas, but it takes lots of time and lots of money. And I am currently raising kids, and I just don't know where that's going to take us. My husband's business with running cows occupies 98% of his time, and a lot of my time as well, of taking care of him and helping him and doing things like that, that I just wish there was more time and money to do all the things that small town America needs.
Yeah.
And like I said earlier, with different opportunities here in Fairview, so many grants and other things that have been offered to small town, to rural America, is so great to be able to develop some of these things and to grow your community.
So we'll stay tuned, in other words.
Yeah, it may be many years down the road after I have my kids at least
grown and
yes.
in school.
Yes.
That's fair. Well, how do we follow you and keep up with life on the ranch and life here at the salon?
I mainly love Instagram. My name is Rylie Sproul. It's nothing professional. It is nothing organized. It is just our life. You will see our kids. You will see cows. You will see hair. And you will see many different other things that we just do around here in the community. I love sharing my life. I love pictures. And I love it being happy and joyful.
Yeah. Okay, well, we will link to that in the show notes. Everybody can follow along. Rylie, thanks for being on the podcast.
Oh, thank you. This was so much fun. I was way too nervous for no reason.
I'm glad to hear that. Well, I love all that Rylie has done with her business and her passion and commitment to her town of Fairview, and how she and her husband are intentional about honoring those that came before them and passing those values on to their kids. Are you thinking about hosting your own farm or ranch dinner this summer? Our farm dinner event kit has everything you need. This kit covers every part of your planning, from organizing volunteers to ticket sales to creating an unforgettable experience for everyone involved. And of course, the tips and tricks we learned along the way. We've designed this to help save you time, streamline the details, and make things as easy as possible for you, so you can create an incredible event and experience for your community. Go to ruralrevival.co/farm dinner for all the details. Huge thanks to Rylie for being on the podcast. Be sure to check out the show notes and go follow her. And thanks to you for tuning in. Have a great day, everybody.